Today, we're coming together around this theme of embracing community and leading to inspire. If I can have Natalia, if you can move the slides forward, please. Today, we're going to have a full agenda. We are proud to have had over 200 registrants sign up. It is a conference that will go from now until 2 p.m. and we expect and anticipate many of our working members of the Latinx community here at Mirage to step in and out of our programming as they're very well aware of our schedule. We're going to have the great privilege of having Lucy Santana, CEO of Girls Incorporated, speak to us about both her journey and her important work here in our region. We'll take a small break and then hear from 4 fantastic panelists who will speak about digital tech as it relates to the Latinx community, with representation from Experian, Microsoft, Bloomreach, and a couple other firms. We'll have a break for lunch and networking, and you'll have a chance to explore this platform further, and then we'll go from our first floor to the second floor. Then we'll ask you to take a survey, and we'll have a second panel on employee resource groups and why they matter. For those of you who are in attendance today, you are eligible to win a raffle prize, a monetary raffle prize, which I believe is $250. So that's quite a perk for your attendance. And so today, throughout the day, we ask for your involvement. You may use the chat. You may raise your hand. We want to create community, even if we're on a virtual platform. So the Latinx community and this Thriving Initiative comes at a very critical point in our university's history. In 2017, we hit a very important tipping point. More than 25% of our undergraduates are now of Hispanic origin or Latinx identifying. And we join a very small set of universities around the country who are clarifying and defining what it means to be Hispanic serving. Our chancellor spoke recently at an event sharing that of those universities that are what we might call Research 1, there were only 16 nationwide. And as part of that narrative, as we define what it means to be Hispanic serving, this Latinx initiative is part of thinking about what professional development means, as we anticipate that 25% continuing to grow and stepping into professional programs such as our own. We are also 600 members deep in terms of Latinx alumni who have attended our program, our various undergraduate, graduate, postgraduate education. That number is very exciting to us, and we have many of you here in the audience who are still so proud of being a UC Irvine Mirage alumni. I do want to note that we also have the great privilege of having one of our alumni be the head of the community college system in the state of California, which means that our impact is also part of thinking about the pipeline of talent coming through, and we want to stay really closely in touch with that workforce development. In the United States, and I would argue worldwide, we're seeing that the Latino-owned businesses are really on the rise. We're seeing even locally, almost 35% of business is being conducted by Latinx owners and Latinx employees. Moreover, demographically, our numbers are increasing, as it's anticipated that we will be almost half of the state in not much time. So all of these different factors, right? Shifts in the university, changes in demographics, this recognition of a marketplace that is also changing. A growing number of Mirage alumni who identify with being Latinx motivated us to create this initiative and to come together today in conversation and community, with the hope that we might plan programming and further development for our community. If we can go to the next slide, please. So we have this brilliant past here at UC Irvine, and we have, I believe, an even brighter future. And this Latinx initiative is truly an example of our hope to convene and empower all of you who are here joining us today, and those 600 alumni and our current students. You know, in the United States, there is a narrative that dominates all others, which usually, I believe, takes place along our borders. And the narrative, I think, is often fear-based and actually a very small part of our story. And for many of us, maybe there is a history of, I myself am a child of immigrants, illegal immigrants at that. And for many of you, your story of how you came to be here might be from living in another country in Latin America, coming to the school, perhaps through, again, an immigrant background. But I think a stronger narrative that is picking up pace and that is more dominant is that of the working intellectual that is also Latinx. And as we see generations, and if you pause and think back to the generation before you, or maybe the generation before that, and think about the striving that took place for betterment. And often that betterment is through the means of education. And so we first want to acknowledge that every single one of you in the audience can connect to an abuelo or an abuela parents who worked to get you to this place. And now some of you are making major decisions as members of your corporations, making important moves as you're opening up doors, providing jobs, thinking about how to create a more equitable workplace and environment for people to really thrive. And so this Latinx initiative acknowledges all of the hard work that has come before us and now aims, aligned with the university's mission, to create an even more brilliant future. And that this narrative of Latinx striving will really become one of Latinx thriving. And today, as you hear the various panelists, you're going to see the remarkable work that our community is already doing. And in the audience, I guarantee you that we have undergraduates who are the first in their family, again, standing on the shoulders of those who actively fought to make sure, worked multiple jobs, made sure doors were open, and they're for the first time stepping into our Mirage undergraduate program. And they are seeing faces and they are hearing narratives of individuals who are continuing to strive and opening opportunities up for them. So today we are encouraged, we are excited to all be together, and I'd like to give you a little bit more of the detail about our mission here at the Latinx Initiative for the Mirage School of Business. First of all, like I said, we are entering into industries, healthcare, digital tech, service industries, hospitality. We are doing fantastic work in all sorts of domains. And we want to create community back here at home at Mirage so that all through the pipeline, from undergraduate to our executive MBAs to our specialty programs and into the workforce, we have a space to grow and learn and strive together. We want to create awareness of issues that matter to us, important themes, important questions, especially around areas of equity and justice and creation of new opportunities and work. And in doing so, our hope is that our programming might really connect to various audience members. At times, like last week, we might focus on our current student body, thinking about where they are in their career progression. At other times, we'll have webinars that invite all members, all alumni to come together to talk about important themes in business that are important, that are critical to our community and to professional advancement of those who are now outside of the Mirage in, physical infrastructure, yet still representing Mirage and the important work that they do. So our four primary goals as as we develop the Latinx initiative is to create community, make sure that people feel that there's a space for belonging, for growth, and for development. The second is to have programming that's relevant to our Latinx community. Again, thinking about issues, topics, challenges that can help us to grow professionally and also advance as a community. The third is that we really want to see connection between everybody, right? And we're really thinking alumni reaching back to the current MBAs, perhaps some MBAs mentoring current undergraduates, and creating this fabric in which there's not a single member of our Mirage Familia who feels that they're striving solo. Rather, we really want to have these connections and mentorship, this fabric in which people say, this is my space where I have a pathway forward. And then finally, we want to make sure that every single current Mirage student, no matter their program, is really given an opportunity to develop core competencies that enable them to be successful as a Latinx member of whichever industry they choose to join. And many of you have so many different talents. We actually invite you to come back, whether it's developing your resume, whether it's negotiating negotiating for a salary, or presenting a minority position in the boardroom. All of those skills, we want to make sure that we're honing them, sharing our gifts, and making sure that everyone benefits from them.